What time do we say Motzei Shabbos? 8:45? Okay. Next Motzei Shabbos stops at 11 p.m.
What? Maybe we should have
Why?
Jacob, maybe we should have a kumsitz.
Kumsitz.
For slichas.
Why are you doing it at 11
I
p.m.?
forgot about slichas. I forgot.
So why do you want to do it at 11 p.m.? Why do you want to do 11 p.m.?
Why?
Yeah.
1 second. Maybe we should talk it through later. Aaron,
Okay.
you have a minyan for slichas by you?
I do.
What time is that?
This month, 12 o'clock probably.
Mine is 1 o'clock.
Jack, if you want the Amud for sneakers, you can have it.
I'll be on the plane. But this man is 1 o'clock?
What was that? You dropped that in there. Where are you going?
Oh, he's going to Phoenix to Bar
Mickey's
Mitzvah.
bar mitzvah.
So you're leaving Motzei Shabbos or you're coming back Motzei
Man,
Shabbos?
you should know me. I'm a shayasha guy through and through when it comes to slichas.
Yeah.
I hear that.
That's what I wanted to understand. Because
By the way, I was never masking to that, Jacob.
Slichas are this week or next week?
Waking up early Sunday morning. I'd
Next
rather
week.
sleep a little late, but stay up later.
Yeah, but it's not worth it. I'm saying you end up going to 2:30 in the morning. So what time do you wake up? 9 o'clock?
2:30 in the morning, Jacob. Slichas is 25 minutes, my friend.
I'm saying, but if you start legitimate time, it's at 1.
I hear you.
I don't care. I'm up at 1:30, and I'm up for the slichas every day anyways. It doesn't make a difference. I'm saying it's not, I'm old man. I can't sleep. I didn't say I'm out of bed. I didn't say I'm out of bed.
I have that problem too.
Yeah. No, so maybe we should make it later. Anybody else doing slichas Motzei Shabbos next week?
Most of the oil.
Avrami, it's for next week, Avrami. Don't get nervous. It's not this week.
I know, I wasn't sure. Like, what?
Oh yeah, I gotta go.
No, we're waiting for the island to get on. So
I gotta be in Flatbush next Shabbos.
We're starting a little late today, no?
Nobody is on. What should I do? I'm waiting.
I'm probably saying in general. I'm probably because we realized most of the oil was not making early Shabbos anymore.
Oh.
No, so maybe we should do it at. Maybe we should do the
what time
at
is
12.
What time is your flight?
My flight is 10:30, I think, from Phoenix. 10:30.
Are you going there for Shabbos?
I'm going for Shabbos.
Oh.
So maybe we should talk and do the daf 12 o'clock. Right? Whatever. 45 minutes before the island does sleep.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Hey, all right.
Jacob, the Kumsitz line was a Zakatinsky plug, but you let that one fly. But okay, fine.
Do I know from these things, which I tell you. Okay, so let's go. Now we get into the women drinking daf. Right? That is today's daf. We left off on the bottom of is that what? Yeah, bottom of Sama Talam base.
The two dots. The two dots.
Yeah. So, but no, bottom line. But nothing like chatzi kav kidneys. So one of the things that he has to do, he has to give her a half a kav of kidneys. Right. So ve'ilu yayin loikatani. It doesn't say she has to give wine. Now we have to take it in context. Wine, meaning throughout the whole Mishnah, the Mishnah listed all the things that you have to give to your wife. Right? If you're not home. If you're home, you have to share your food with your wife. We're talking about the guys traveling or whatever. So your point's a caterer, take care of his wife. So we went all through different foods. But what about drink? There was no drinks mentioned in the Mishnah. Now back then, yayin was their drink. So how come the Mishnah doesn't say anything about wine? Right? So Gemara says, "V'ilu yayin loikatani." This is a proof to Rebbe Lazar. Rebbe Lazar. Now we start today's daf. Ain't paiskin yenos leisha. You do not give wine to women. Why? Rashi says because wine makes them desire intimacy. Right? If you're gonna say Elcha acharei ma, the pasuk says Elcha acharei mahavai. I'm gonna go after the people that love me. Meaning, this is a woman. The pasuk is imitating a woman who not imitating, whatever. It's describing a woman who is being mazana. Right? So the pasuk saying, Elcha, she's saying, Elcha acharei ma'av, I'm going to go after the people that love me. Noisni lachmei, they give me my bread, umeimai, and my water, simri, wool, pishti, flax, shamni, my oil, bishikuya, and my drinks. So you see, and drinks back then wasn't soda, it was wine. So you see that they do give drinks to women. So the Gemara answers, Dvarim shehaisha mishtakekes aleim. Their shkuya doesn't mean drinks. It means things that she desires. What's that? Tachshitin. She likes what do you call it? Tachshitin, jewelry, makeup, these type of things. Fine. So therefore, we're not allowed to give this lady wine because it might cause problems. So Darash Rabbi Yehuda Ishkvar Neviraya. Right, so Rabbi Yehuda Ishkvar Neviraya said, "Parmila Ishkvar Nafur Chayil." That was also the name of a place. Some nine change place can Yenas Leisha. How do you know that you don't give wine to don't give wine to women? Shenemar Batakom Chana Acharei Achla B'Shiloi V'Acharei Shasa. So Chana, after she ate and drank in Shiloi, right? So Chana went up to David that she should have a child. Right, that Chana gave birth to. She's almost a Rosh Hashanah sugi, right? Just so you see that she drank. So what's a pshat? So shasa v'loy shasas. So the pasuk sounds like he drank, she did not drink. So when I ask, it says when it says in the pasuk that she ate, it's mashra that she ate and he didn't eat. The Gemara says, "Anan midashani krab dibure kamrina." We're talking about where she changed, where the pasuk changed the way it spoke. Michti begava ka'asik ba'asi. The pasuk is talking about her, right? My time of shani. Why did the pasuk change? Shmamina shasa v'loy shasas. That means that he drank and she did not drink. So doesn't mean just for that part of the pasuk. It changed it, so therefore we're saying that it only applies to him and not to her. Fine. So Meisvei, so the Brisa asks, Regila, nice law. If she's rugil to drink wine, then we do give her wine. Meaning, if this is her regular way to drink is to drink wine, so you give her wine. So the Gemara answers Regila Shani, somebody who's used to drinking wine. That's different because since she's used to drinking wine, so she has some sort of alcohol tolerance. She has an alcohol tolerance. You don't think she's going to go off. She's going to go off the deep end. If she's used to drinking wine, then we give her 1 cup of wine. If she's not used to drinking wine, we give her 2 cups. Now, if you're paying attention, what does that mean? That doesn't make any sense. If she's used to drinking wine, you give her 1 cup. If she's not used to drinking wine, you give her 2 cups. So Gemara says, "My kamer, what did that mean?" So Amar Abaya, Hachi kamer, this is what it's saying. If she's used to drinking in front of her husband 2 cups, so then we don't give her a regular drink. If she's used to drinking 2 cups of wine with her husband, right? So then she gets 1 cup. She gets 1 cup. Right? If she only drinks 1 cup with her husband, then when she's not with her husband, then we don't give her at all. Right? Meaning, so you have to, whatever amounts that she's normally used to drinking, you have to give her less. If anybody's ever seen any women drunk, it's you hear with this. You also have all the date rape stories, where all you got to do is get them drunk a little bit, and then that's it. Right, Viba, we'll see that in a couple of lines. Viba is saying, or you could say Regila, if she's used to drinking nice and low, let's say then you can give her wine. This is like cooking wine, in order to put to use as ingredients. There's a story with the daughter-in-law of Nakdimon that the Chachamim gave her Sosayim Yayin, Letzike Kiderim Yerushav The Chachamim gave her, yeah?
Hello?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Can I interrupt you? Hi, can I interrupt 1 minute? A cooking wine story. Hello?
Hello.
Yes,
Can you hear us?
we hear you.
Oh, so Purim, I was in Rav Aaron Schechter's house in Purim 1965, I think, whatever. It was in the Purim afternoon, and Rav Aaron was pretty wrecked already, way before he was going to the Rosh Hashanah. So his Rebbetzin put away all the mashka, and he's sitting there, and all of a sudden, a light bulb goes off in his head, and he goes into the kitchen and pulls over a chair to a closet, and he climbs up, and he finds 1 or 2 bottles that the Rebbetzin used for cooking wine. He was so excited. He was so proud of himself.
He drank it?
He drank it, yeah. He drank it. Yeah.
How much alcohol is in that cooking wine?
I don't know
anyways?
what was there, but he was very, what I remember, it's a long time ago, but he was very proud of himself.
Interesting. Okay, so there you go. So, but according to that story, you shouldn't be giving cooking wine to women, right?
Rabbi,
I don't know.
You got to be very wrecked to drink that and think you're getting a schmack out of it.
Yes, he was. He was.
That's funny. Anyways, so the daughter of nakdimon Ben Gurion, they gave her 2 saw of wine every week. So they to them, now there's different ways of learning this. Is she asking as a question or is she saying it as a statement? I mean, was she happy with it? Was she not happy with it? So the way that if she wasn't happy, she said, would you give this to your daughters? Right? That's one way. Or the other way is you give this to your daughters, like you're treating me like you would your own daughters. Chana and the Brisa, we learned in the Brisa, Shemeres Yavam, I said that what was the story? Why was she being fed by the Chachamim? Because she was a Shemeres Yavam. Her husband had died and she was waiting for Yibum. And therefore the Chachamim, the assumption is that it was a bracha she was giving them, that you should treat your daughters this way too. And they didn't want to answer Amen because they didn't want it to be that they're saying Amen, that there should be a situation of Yibum on their daughters. Right, so they didn't want to say Amen to that bracha. Tomorrow's daf will have a bracha that she gives where they did say Amen. The daughter-in-law of nakdimon Ben Gurion gets a lot of coverage in this daf and these next 2 daf. Fine. Tano, second wide line. Kais echad yafa liisha. 1 cup of wine is good for a woman. Shnayim nivelhu. 2 is disgusting, meaning she'll become disgusting. Shloisha tevas bepeh. If she drinks 3 cups, she's going to start asking anybody to sleep with her bepeh. And arba, if you give her 4 drinks, afilu chamor tevas b'shuk be'ena makpedes. Even if there's a chamor that's she's going to go after even a chamor in the shuk, and she's not going to care. She's going to have such a desire for intercourse, she's not going to care about a chamor b'shuk. So okay, so the Mefarshim asked, so what's with saying why chamor? That's how drunk she'll get. She'll sleep with a chamor.
I thought you were going to say that's why they allow grape juice for women by the Seder.
Oh, that's a good question. So what about the Seder? How do women drink wine by the Seder? Even with the husband, the most we said is 2 cups. Right? So how do you do 4 cups? So the answer, there's a couple answers. One is that it's stretched out. It's not one after the other, at least by most people's Siddurim. Right? And the truth is the people that are having those quick Siddurim are probably grape juice people anyways, not that I'm being biased or anything. And the other one is that when you eat it together with food, it also helps dull the alcohol, right? As we know. Today I was learning Mishnah Brura about a chamor, and that a chamor on Cholamayid, I was looking at Hilchos Cholamayid today, and a chamor on Cholamayid, so you're not allowed to mate animals on Cholamayid because it's avodah, but you're allowed to put them in the corral and let them mate with each other, except a chamor. If a chamor is in heat, then it's a tsar for the chamor not to sleep with another animal. So I'm just wondering if that's why we said chamor over here, because She'll even go after Chamor if the Chamor is showing pain. So she's drunk, so she'll help out the Chamor. Okay, whatever it is. A lot of alcohol for a woman is no good. So this is only when her husband's not with her. Less love. So when her husband's with her,
Your
then there's no problem.
Your mother's on the porch at the appropriate time.
Yeah. Yes. But anyway, so it's only with her. But if her husband is not there, if her husband's there, then she's allowed to drink. Right? But the Mefarshim say, so it sounds like, okay, she could drink as much as she wants if her husband's there. No, it means no more than 2 drinks with the husband. Well, Chana was with her husband. How come the Gemara, the pasuk says she didn't drink? She was with her husband. So the Gemara says, very interesting answer. When you're a guest at somebody else's house, that's different. Why? How do you know that when you're a guest in somebody else's house, you are not allowed to have intercourse in their house? Because it says by Chana, they got up in the morning, and they bowed down. They went to the Beis Hamikdash, bowed down to the Mishkan, bowed in front of Hashem, and then they went home. Then Then that's when he knew his wife, and then Hashem mentioned, meaning they got a bracha that they're gonna have a child. So why did they just be together when they were in Yerushalayim? Not Yerushalayim, Shiloh, right? Why did they wait to go home? So the Gemara says, "Hashtein me koroloi." Now's when they were together, but not in the beginning. Why not? Because you're not allowed to be together when you're a guest in somebody else's house, which is the halacha. However, when the Paiskim say, the Mefarshim say, even the Rishonim, that when you have your own room, then that's considered like your own bias, and therefore it is allowed. It's only when you don't have your own room, then you're not allowed to. Then you're not allowed to be together. When you have your own room, that's considered like your own bias. You're allowed to be together, but you have to bring your own sheets. You cannot have intercourse on somebody else's house using their sheets, because it's disgusting that they'll have. Well, it's different. There's different versions of it. Why you wouldn't be allowed to have, but you got to bring your own sheets if you're going to have intercourse in somebody else's house. That is halacha psuka. Yeah, many people are not aware of it. The shaila is a hotel, right? What's it in a hotel? So it's not clear. I mean, I tell people that it's okay, but some want to say it's not okay. Now, agav, this has nothing to do with the daf, but once we're discussing it, a lot of times I get this a lot. The hotel sheets are white. Hotel sheets are white, if anybody's not familiar. And a lot of times women have staining issues because they're using white sheets. So in that scenario, I tell them, go find yourself a Target or a Walmart and invest $15 in a colored sheet, and maybe even colored towels, so you don't run into issues. But okay, whatever it is. So fine. Now the Gemara brings a wild story. Chaima, Davisu de Abaya Saila Kamei Rava. So Chaima, Abaya's wife, who she was an almana, came in front of Rava. Amrale Psaikli Mazaini. She was an almana, so she says, I need you to feed me. So Pasakla, so he gave her food. Right? Psaikli Chamra, she says, give me wine. Amrale, he said to her, Yadaina be benachmeni diloy habashasi Chamra. I know that Nachmeni, which was the name of Abaya, that was a nickname for Abaya, that he didn't drink wine. Right? So why are you allowed to drink wine? You're not used to drinking wine. We can't give you wine. Right? So Amrale, again, with this whole thing, I get Rabaran, I don't know if you could hear me, you can't hear me, but is that the way it worked with almanas back then? And almana needed to be fed, so she had to go to Bezdin to shnora her food, right? And why weren't they bringing her the food? Kasha for la maisa, I don't know. Anyways, so
in this case, it could be the doctor. She went to Rava. Rava was his chavrusa. She figured she'd get the best deal out of this.
So what are you saying?
She Bedavka went to Rava.
You think Dafka? I thought he was the gadol there. So
he was also.
Don't you need the basin to award from the
Yeah, I'm saying, but the Bezdin could get together
the base.
and can't make Bezdin the Bezdin get together, make the psak, and then send it to her.
So she's making them get together. That's what she's doing. She's like, they're busy. They're poskening shilas. This says throw kosher or not, This is like, guys, I need food.
Okay, I hear, but it's like, I don't know. Nowadays we wouldn't do this. That's what I'm saying. Okay, whatever it is. So he told her, you can't drink wine. So Armaleh Chayi Damar, right? In your life, like that's sort of like an exasperation statement. He would drink in cups like this, meaning, and she would. Rashi says that she spread out her arms. She went like this, spread out her arms totally. So what happens when that happens? Right? Bahadi the kamachvile, when she was showing him this, igli draw, her arm became revealed, because I guess she didn't go to Beis Yaakov Bismanazeh, and she wasn't told that you have to make sure that your sleeves cover your elbows, even if you're going like this and like that. So clearly, the Gemara doesn't say here that she did anything wrong. Agav, but that's just my diak. I don't know if that's a good diak or not. Doesn't say she did anything wrong. Whatever it is, her arms were revealed. So Nafa Nura Bebeidina, and then a big light, because she was so beautiful, like the shine, went over the whole Bezdin. So what happened? Come Rava, all the base. Rava got up and went home. Tava Labas Rav Chisda, and he decided Rava was married to Rav Chisda's daughter, and he asked her to sleep with him. Right? So what's a pshat? And the Mefarshim say, because since he had a desire, he wanted to get it out without having Herhurim about other women. So he wanted to go be Makayim that the Herhurim with his wife. So Amrle Bas Rav Chisda. So the daughter of Chisda said to him, Man Havi Bebeitina, what was going on in Bezdin today? You just come home asking for this? Amrallah, so he said to her, Amrallah Chaimer the Bisuda Abaya. What happened was it was Chaimer, Abaya's wife. Right? So Nafka Basra. So she went running after Chaimer, and Machsala Bekofi the Shida, and she hit her with the lock from a box. Yeah, so I don't know what the shot in that was exactly, but she hit her. Ad the Afka la Mikuli Mechayza. She kept hitting her until she left Mechuza. Right? She left town. Amralan, she told her, Katalas Lech Tlasa, you already killed 3 people, because she was already married. Abaya was her 3rd husband, because she was so beautiful, the guys wanted to marry her. But like we learned in Yavamas, that's a Katlanis already, and anybody marrying her is going to die. So get out of town so you don't kill anybody else. Right? You're going to come to kill somebody else. Right? So that's that story. You see how even seeing preachers can be a problem. So that's why Rava went home to be with his wife, and she was just concerned that this lady's going to end up killing somebody else. Fine. That's story number 1. Story number 2. So she came in front of them. She said to them, give me food. So Pasakla, they gave her food. She said, give me wine. Pasakla, they gave her wine. Amar Allah. So he said to her, the reason why I'm giving you wine is because I know that the B'nai Mechuzah drink wine. So therefore, she was allowed to get wine. Midville, I'm sorry, that was the name of the town. Asayla commander of Yosef, Amrali Psychli Mizayni, give me food. So Pasakla, he gave her food. Psychli Chamra, give me wine. Pasakla, he gave her wine. Psychli Shirai, give me silk clothing. Amrala Shirai Lama, why do you need silk? So Amrale, she said to him, I need it for Lach Ulachabra Ulachabrura. I need it for you and your friends friends. Meaning, I need to look good, right? Rashi says she shouldn't be mavuzah on the brias, on people. She should have nice clothing that she wore before she became a widow. So she wants to continue looking nice. Fine, okay. So that's sugya. But nice and lecha Mita umafetz, you give her a bed, and the mafetz is a soft, what do you call it? Like a soft mattress and a hard mattress. Mafetz and machtel salama l'diavla. Why does he have to give her a soft one and a hard one? So Amar Papa, ba'asud denhigi demalu purya b'chavli. Talking about in a town where the way they made the beds, purya is a bed, is b'chavli with ropes. The mevagala, it's going to cause her to get old, right? So it's not ropes can maybe work for the army, a rope bed, but it's not going to work for an older woman. So she's going to even age even more than that. So therefore, you have to give her mattresses. We don't give her pillow or mattresses. And he says you do give it. So when it says, "Hey, Chidami," what's the case? My time Tanakama. If it's the regular way to sleep with a pillow and a mattress, so why does the Tanakama say don't give it to her? If it's not the way, my time what's the reason for Rav Nosson? So my answer is like it's his way is to sleep with a pillow and a mattress. Her way, where the town that she's from, is not to. So therefore, what? So Tanakama Savar Amrullah, he tells her, when I leave, I'm gonna take the pillows, right? But you're gonna Rashi says, but I'm gonna make sure you get it taken care of from the whoever the Gabai. And when I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna bring them back with me. Right? Meaning, so and therefore when he comes back with the pillow and the mattress, he can't just sleep on one. He's gonna have to bring one for her too. Meaning he says, when I'm there, you'll get a pillow and a mattress. Because we're talking about where she's not used to sleeping with a pillow and a mattress. He says, when I'm there, you'll have it. When I'm not there, you won't. Rav Nosson Savar Amrullah Zimna de Misrami bein Hashmashas. So she's gonna say, no, sometimes you're gonna come bein Hashmashas of Shabbos, so you can't carry V'loi Motzis Maisi, and you're not gonna be able to bring Maisul. You're not gonna be able to bring your pillow and your mattress. V'shakas Lula Didi Magnus Lialari. You're gonna take my pillow and my mattress, and I'm gonna sleep on the floor, right? I don't know. I don't know how it rolled back then. But that's what we're saying, that was her concern, that he's not gonna be able to carry his mattress and pillow, and he's gonna take it from her. And yeah. Okay, then Taisa says a kasha, because Taisa says, okay, so then let him buy 2 sets and leave it there. Right? Okay, it's just a little difficult to understand all this. Fine. But nice and lakipa, and he gives her a head covering. Amarle Rapabla Abaya on top of base now. Hi Tana Shliach Artloi Verami Masane. Is this Tana, right? Shliach Artloi and Rami Masane, he's totally naked and wearing shoes. Right? Meaning somebody who comes walking around and he's not wearing any clothes, he's wearing shoes, everybody laughs at them, like, why are you worried about your shoes? Why don't you worry about your clothing? Right. So here too, what do we say? That he has to buy the wife's shoes 3 times a year, and clothing he gives her for once a year. So what we're so worried about the shoes, what about her clothing? Right? So
I don't understand that, because we buy shoes more often than we buy suits. What's the big kasha here? Shoes take much.
She's a Mulder Marcus, his wife. No?
I hear.
No, back then I don't think. See, back then shoes were not like shoes are now. Shoes. Most people are buying shoes nowadays are not buying shoes because their other shoes wore out. I mean, I do that, but I don't know about it. Most people are buying shoes because it's a part of the thing. It's a fascinating thing. In Hilchas Abelis, right? A novel we should never know from it is not allowed. Well, we got Naftali, right? You're not allowed to buy new clothing. A novel's allowed to buy shoes. There's no isser to buy shoes. And even Bezman Hazeh, the place can say, even though that doesn't apply nowadays, you would think, fakert, you should not buy shoes, right? But you be able to buy clothing. Shoes is like considered like, oh, you got new shoes. right? But no, it totally changed. The attitude to shoes totally changed.
You can still buy shoes, right? We don't go that way, right?
You could still buy shoes. We go with the old way.
Right.
You
It's
can still
talking,
buy shoes.
right. It's talking about
Oh,
shirts
your
and,
Amelis is over.
it's not over yet, almost. But the
Just the
underwear
Kaddish,
undershirts you
don't-
could get.
Aaron, don't take it away from him. He's got another.
Right. I got out of a
Underwear,
vote
yes.
last night.
Yeah.
One that I wanted to go to.
Yeah. But anyway, so we don't change it with shoes. So shoes was different back then. Fine. So either way, so Amalei. So what's the meaning? So what's the point? We're taking care of her shoes, but not of her clothing. So Amalei said we're talking about a place living in the mountains. The loy sagia beloy tlasazugi misani, because you need to have 3 pairs of shoes. And it's teaching us something. That you can give it to her on Cholam, that you should give it to her not for Cholam, for Yom Tiv. So that she'll have simcha because of the shoes. Even though shoes, she may not necessarily wear them on Yom Tiv, but once you're giving her 3 pairs of shoes a year because that's what they need, so therefore they need to what do you call it? They might as not need to, but might as well give it for Yom Tov. Like this will make her happy. So I always wonder if you're supposed to buy your wife something for Shabbos, right, or for Yom Tov. So does it have to be something dafka for Yom Tov, or is it just something to make her happy on Yom Tov? From this Gemara, it seems clear that it doesn't have to be something for Yom Tov, right? Let's say sometimes you want to buy your wife a new mixer for Yom Tov, right? She's not benefiting from it on Yom Tov. She can't use it on Yom Tov. So you yaitze.
It's for Shabbos also, or just Yom Tov?
No, Yom Tov. Don't worry, Abraham. So it's just Yom Tov, right?
Karen, I'm happy to get her every Shabbos. I try my best.
Yeah.
I do, but
Abrami, buy her a bottle of scotch for Shabbos. No,
That's true, right? It doesn't say that. Only says they can't drink wine. It doesn't say they can't drink scotch.
right.
Reb Aaron, you're talking to Scotch. Come on, only bourbon.
What?
I was just about to say, get him a bottle of Old Weller. Rummy, come on.
I was hoping to buy for your wife. Your wife drinks bourbon? Probably not. No.
No.
I saw your shver a few times, and shvers drink scotch, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So okay.
Aaron, he thought
I
you
don't
meant
think
he should
Old
buy it for his
Weller
wife,
is the
but
most
he should drink
romantic
it.
bottle to get for a wife. Old Weller would not be the most romantic bottle.
You don't think so, huh?
Yeah,
Here you
but
go,
anyways,
Old Weller.
Parents from right field.
Anyways, okay, let's finish the parak. So that's the kalim shechamishim zuz, right? Kalim of 50 zuz. So now we said 50 zuz. 50 zuz is a lot of money. I mean, I don't know what the equivalent of 50 zuz is, Gershon. You have any idea? 50 zuz bisman hazeh. That's what a guy's clothing he has to buy for his wife.
It's a quarter of a ksuba. So if a ksuba is what? We say $20,000, so it's $5,000.
Yeah, so okay, so it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Right? So v'kelim shechamishim zuz. So Amar Abaya, chamishim zuzi pshiti. It's not your 50 zuz that are the zuzim from the ksuba. It's the zuzi that are pshiti, right? Which Rashi says is 1/8 of the ksuba. Right? So that's a whole lot less. That's figure about $700-800. Right? So Gemara says, "My what? An eighth of the
Okay,
ksuba.
I'm sorry.
Not an
Is
eighth of the
Sorry.
ksuba. No, it's an eighth of the zuz.
An eighth
The
of the
zuz is a
zuz.
quarter, so it's an eighth of a quarter.
It's eighth of a 50. It's an eighth of a quarter of the ksuba.
Right. It's a
Right.
32th of a ksuba.
That's a huge lay shetel.
I didn't see it. Sorry.
Hold on. No, it's fine. It's fine. Nobody has to see my handsome face so much. Anyway.
Aaron couldn't see that. Tzvi Yaakov thought it was so funny, he flipped his iPad.
Anyways. Okay, so let's go. So it's not the 50. How do you know? But ani should be Israel. This is all talking about a poor person. But if somebody, meaning you only have to give the 50 zuz, that's if you're poor, meaning that's the minimum. But if you're wealthy, you got to give clothing according to your wealth. And if you say it's 50 zuz mamish, ani 50 zuz minale, where's an ani getting 50 zuz? It means the cheaper zuz. Fine. Right, he doesn't have to give her new clothing, meaning he should not give her new clothing in the summer and old clothing in the winter, because new clothing is hotter and old clothing is colder, meaning give her the new clothing in the winter, the old clothing in the summer. Yeah?
I was like, what happens to have a share?
I don't know. Okay. So Taner Rabbanan, Meiser Mezainis Labal, the leftover food goes to the husband, meaning the husband has to feed her. Leftover food goes to the husband. Meiser Belois Leisha, the leftover clothing goes to the wife. Meaning, if the clothing is how do you say it? If there's leftover, meaning her clothing after it's done with, so the husband says, "Well, I mean, I bought the clothing. Why can't I keep the clothing?" So we say, "No, she keeps the clothing. The leftover food, though, he gets to keep." Yeah.
Isn't Blois worn out clothing?
Yeah, meaning, but still, it's worth something. Maybe you can use it to make a campfire.
Meister Blois?
She gets the rest.
Meister Begadim.
Yeah, I don't know. I understood it. It's just meant. You're right. It's yeah. Technically, it sounds like that's her extra of her worn out clothing. Okay, so why does she get it for? She'll wear it when in her nida days, so that she doesn't become disgusting to her husband. I'm not exactly sure what Rashi means here, right? Meaning,
is this Rashi's written halakha? No.
Well, no, the halacha seems to be different. Well, it's complicated. Well, it's the truth, not so complicated, but it's saying that she shouldn't, if she wears, I think what Rashi must mean, I'm not sure if I can figure it with these words, but Rashi must mean to wear different clothing when, meaning she's going to be embarrassed. It's going to be disgusting with her husband that the same clothing she wears when she's a nida, she's wearing it when she's not a nida. Right? But in Shulchan Aruch, it says that some had a minig that the woman dafka wore special nida clothing, which then we said is not necessarily good because that will make her disgusting to her husband. Okay, whatever is the shadow is what Tiskan al-Baila means when she's a nida, she shouldn't be disgusting to her husband, or when she's not a nida. Okay, so if it wasn't Erev Shabbos, we could hack about it. Fine. So yeah, so Amud Abaya, nakdimon, we say the extra clothing, extra worn out clothing from the almana that goes to the yarsha. Hasam hu deloy tiskani papei. So there, meaning why do we say the woman gets the leftover clothing so she shouldn't be embarrassed in front of her husband? Hacha tiskani v'tiskani. Here she's an almana, so who cares? Again, another case which like what the almana doesn't have to look good. Okay, fine. Then the Gemara says, nice and la ma kesef. He has to give a minimum amount of spending money, a ma kesef. So maya cheles. So what does it mean? And then she gets to eat with her husband. So we had this Gemara before. Maya cheles. What is the type of a cheles? Rav Nachman or cheles mamish. It means to mamish eat. And Rav Ashi Amar tashmish. It means cheles doesn't mean eating. It means intercourse. Tanan cheles ima leili Shabbos. It says she eats with him on Friday night. That's what we understand that cheles she eats together. What does it mean? She eats. So when it says no, lishma aliyah. When it says eating, it's trying to use a nicer lush. Didn't want to use a lashon of intercourse, so it said that they eat together. Achla. This is talking about also a zayna. Achla, she eats, meaning she's mazana. Umachsapia, and she wipes her mouth. But amra loipa the oven. I didn't do anything wrong. She removes the evidence. So that's you see the word achla can be used as a term for intimacy. So she eats on Friday night and on Shabbos. So then we understand they eat Friday night together, they eat Shabbos day. But the one that says it means intercourse, tashmish b'Shabbos mi'ika, is there such a thing as tashmish on Shabbos? V'amar Ravuna, Yisrael Kedoshim, and Yisrael Kedoshim, and Mishamshim the same thing. I mean, they don't have intimacy during the day, right? So how can it be that Eicheles means Shabbos day? Right? If they eat twice together on Shabbos, and Eicheles means intimacy, so there's no intimacy during the day. So our answers, we should know this already because we had a couple of times. Amarava buys awful mutter in a dark house, it's mutter. So they can make the house dark on Shabbos day, and then they make her din could be together. Fine. Then the Gemara says, Menika, if she's a nursing mother, then she doesn't have to produce as much income, and she gets extra food. So Darash Rabula Rabba Pischa de Bein Nesiya, he darshened by the door of the Bein Nesiya. Ava Pisham Rein Adam Zanas Banav Noisim Shen Ketanim. Right, we had this a couple of weeks ago. Even though a person does not have to feed his kids when they're small, but you do have to feed your young kids. Right, this comes into can you use Meiser money to feed your kids after the age of 6? Ad kama. Till what age do you have to feed your kids? Ad ben sheish, until they're 6 years old. To the Ravasi, Dama Ravasi, Katan ben sheish yaitze be'eruv imay. A Katan ben sheish is yaitze with his mother's eruv. Meaning, we're talking about Erev Tchum. We had it yesterday, right? So when you want to travel out of the city more than the 2,000 amas, you have to put out food. So let's say the father's going in one direction. He's got one kiddush in one end of town, and meaning out of the town, and the mother has a kiddush in the other end of the town. So which way do the kids go? Do the kids go with the mother, or do the kids go with the father? So we say up until age 6, they need their mother. After that, they become more independent. So you see that up until age 6, so mimai. Right? So how do we know this? From our Mishnah, that's how you know age 6. So it's the Minika, if she's a nursing mother, we make her work less. And we add on to her food. My time, isn't it because she has to feed the baby? And that's why. So you see that she has to feed the baby. Right? The question is how you get age 6 from this. Right? So okay, whatever. That's I guess that's what they figured out. Even though there's no nursing till age 6. We really said till age 4 or 5 was the maximum. Okay, so that's another shaila. Age 6 is what? Is that 5 years and a day, or does it mean a full 6 years? Right? Like somebody's a bar mitzvah. That's at the end of his 13th year. Right? A kid becomes bar mitzvah on the 14th year, right? After a full 13 years, it becomes bar mitzvah. So what are we saying here? Does age 6 mean at the beginning of the 6th year, which really when he's 5, his birthday is 5th birthday, or does it really mean his 6th birthday? Okay, it's a different shaila. So if you go with the nursing and you say that nursing can go up till age 5, and it includes the entire 5th year, so then it could work out. Okay, whatever. Well, no. Who says that the reason why you give extra food to the mother is because she also has to feed the baby? Right? Maybe it's because she's considered a chayla. So our answer is im kain, lisni im haisa chaylas. And why do you say if she's sick when she's nursing, give food? My im haisa minika. What does it mean if she's nursing? So it means you have to give her because she's nursing, not because she's a chayla. Yeah. The Dilma, so Gemara asks, the Dilma, Hakamash Malon, the Stam and Nikas Chaylas. No, maybe the Mishnah is saying that a Stam woman who nurses a baby is considered sick. Right? So Itmar, Amar Rav Yeshua ben so meaning, so therefore you don't have a right. Right? So then the Gemara finishes off, Itmar, Amar Rav Yeshua ben Levi, Masifin la Yayin, Shayayin, Yafel Lachalav. We add on Yayin to her because Yayin is good for milk. So all of a sudden, the whole Amid Aleph, we say no giving wine to the woman. All of a sudden, we have a nursing mother, and now we should give her wine because wine produces good milk. Okay. Hadron Aloch Afalpi, L'chaim, and yeah. Okay. So continue to go through Ksubas. Yeah.
And Yaakov, if you're giving the nursing mother, you're also giving the baby, no?
What?
If you're giving the nursing mother one, the baby's also getting wine.
Depends on how much they have. Your average OBGYN is a glass is fine.
But Jesse, we're not talking to you.
This isn't coming from me. This is coming from an OBGYN.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah. What are you saying, Gershon?
You say before that Shalitus Kana Albaila, whether it was B'Shasli Dos or not B'Shasli Dos. That's this week's Parsha. Let's Tziparnel. It's Kana Albaila. Machlokes Ramban or Rashi, which way around it goes.
That what?
The Asasas Tziparnel, right? It's also Machlokes if it's Tiskana, which way around.
Oh, you mean today's parsha?
Yeah.
I hear. Interesting. You're right.
No, if you got it. They're all.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you get the phone from Mendel?
Yeah, but it doesn't work. It still needs my daughter's information. So
why?
You
look at this. Set up as a new phone.
Look at this. A guy just texted. Mamish. We were told years ago by an Erlich, a therapist, that we can't have intimacy at night. We can do by day. I don't know what the guy Shiloh. I got to read the Shiloh.
That just came in?
Just now, yeah. 6:33. 6:33. Yeah.
Tell him to learn today's daf.
Someone was learning daf with us. Just finished, sent it in.
Why can't you set up as a new phone?
Shabbat shalom,
Shabbos.
Rabbi, why can't you set up as a new phone?
What?
Why can't you set it up as a new phone?
Because it says you need to, it's logged in onto somebody else's account.
There's nothing on the bottom to set up as new?
No.
No, there's got to be. I reset the whole thing. I have to look at it. Otherwise, I'll take it with me to the city on Monday, and I'll stop at the east side on the way home, and I'll have Apple reset it.